And welcome back, everybody, to the UMG Champions Apex Legends Arena $10,000 Invitational. It's grand finals time. We have two of the best teams currently in the tournament, and they're about to face off. Of course, I'm talking about Arena Demons and Sentinels. This is going to be a wild ride. I'm Taylor Reflections Noble, joined by Onset and Gaskin. And boys, the time is finally here for some money to be made. And Onset, let's start with you, brother, because these two teams that are here, hey, one of them was my dark horse, Arena Demons. But Sentinels beating G2, a major upset. This has been a great ride.
Yeah, I would argue that Sentinels are a dark horse as well, just because of the lineup. You've got Lou coming in as well, who hasn't been part of this Sentinels lineup. Red Sea, I think, is taking a little bit of a break at the moment. And Lou is an insane mechanical player to bring in, and I think he really works well in arenas. I know that he says, this is very interesting for me as well, because Lou has always said it's impossible to get to the top of the ranked arenas because he doesn't like going against controller players. Well, if he wants to get to the top of this tournament, he's going to have to go against three controller players who know a lot about arenas, been playing incredibly well. So it's a chance for Lou to kind of take down his nemesis here in the controller players.
Controller players, the nemesis. I swear to you, I don't care. All BRs have this argument, controller versus PC. It's never going to go away, right? It's always going to be their Gaskin. Well, like Onset said, yeah, it's right. You know, all three players on Arena Demons are controller players. They play on PC, though. But when it comes down to Arena Demons, they've done so much right. You talk about their history and, you know, second NA team to reach Predator in arenas. At one point, you know, 1, 2, and 3 respectively in rankings for Pred when it came to arenas. These guys are incredible, and they're methodical. That was something Girl continued to say throughout her cast.
Yeah, they've done their research, they've done their prep, they know exactly how they want to approach every single map. They have success on the majority of maps, bar one from what I can tell from the statistics, and certainly they are going to come into this final with a lot of confidence, and confidence is exactly what you need in these 3v3 engagements. They're not afraid to take fights, they don't really fear any other team, and I think that's fantastic. They've been a kind of breath of fresh air for some of these arena tournaments, just to watch them and watch their way of approaching things, because it's been so different. Like, there has been so many teams who've just gone for the kind of normal meta, and I feel like Arena Demons are trying to break that meta.
They are breaking the meta, and that comes with repetition, right? I mean, that just comes with them constantly and consistently grinding the game, seeing various different looks, you know, kind of picking and pulling what they like, what they don't like, and clearly whatever they do like has been introduced in this tournament. I mean, we've seen Rampart, we've seen Horizon, we've seen Valkyrie, we've seen literally all those being rocked by Aidan the Destroyer himself, but he's doing it masterfully. I love watching him play. Gaskin, let's talk about one player, though. In Crust We Trust clearly has taken a toll and really taken Blaze by the heartstrings. Let's talk about Crust for a second. His stats look pretty good, and he's an incredible player.
Yeah, it just seems like whenever you think Sentinels might be down and out, or whether a round isn't going their way, Crust just pops up and emits an insane amount of damage. Really has been a core part of this Sentinels squad throughout this tournament. And Sentinels went from a position where it looked like they were maybe on the void of being eliminated. They were really struggling. They were 2-0 down at one point, brought it back to 3-2, and they progressed into today. So I'm very impressed with what I've seen in Crust in particular, and the fact that there is already a chat meme behind him just earns him extra bonus points. But very impressed, and we'll see whether in Crust We Trust will carry on into this grand final, because Sentinels are going to need everything here against such an incredible team.
Onset, another one from Arena Demons, has to be Dimmy. I don't know if we can make a cool slogan with Dimmy. I guess I send that challenge to you because you're just a creative guy. But Dimmy's stats are looking pretty good too. And, you know, we always talk about Aidan the Destroyer and RahKnee, but Dimmy also has his place as the Pathfinder.
He certainly does. And I'm gonna come up with something pretty fresh. I think this is quite good, actually. So you've got In Crust We Trust, or as this girl says, In Trust We Crust. And with Dimmy, I'm going to say that Dimmy gets silly. Okay, that kind of works.
Hey,
just throw an eye on the end of there, kind of works. So Dimmy has been getting silly, and you can see from the statistics as well. And he's been doing it with the wingman a lot of the time. I know his teammates have been heavily favoring the 30-30 repeater, and he certainly had it in his hands as well. But his wingman shots have been nuts, and I think he's clutched up, and he's got a lot of first bloods for his team, which has been really, really impressive to see.
Yeah, the first bloods definitely make a difference. And that's one of the things Arena Demons does well, is transferring those first bloods into a round win. And certain teams have been struggling with that. Arena Demons, not so much. Let's bring up, though, a big portion of this. Obviously, our 5 final maps we are going to see in this tournament. And this is a perfect talking point for Gaskin.
Yeah, I giggled slightly because Thermal Station is not going to feature, and that's not surprising. Neither team has won a game on Thermal Station yet, so they've just got that out of the map pool Instead, we'll just get these 5 maps where they've been impressive. Both teams have only lost a couple of games here or there. Party Crasher is the only map where we've seen a loss for Arena Demons out of these 5. On the other side for Sentinels, they've lost 1 on Overflow and 1 on Phase Runner. So in terms of statistics, from what we've got from today's tournament, or today and yesterday's tournament, it would seem like the Arena Demons have an advantage. But again, I think anything can happen in this grand final. It's going to come down to who's hitting their shots, who really wants it today. And Arena Demons seem like the team who want it more than Sentinels, but you never really know.
Well, Arena Demons, you look at their run, and again, having to go against powerhouse, well-established teams. Let's not forget, Arena Demons isn't a team that's represented by an org, or at least they're not representing an org. So coming into this, being orgless is they're kind of the black sheep, you know. So they can only go up; they couldn't go any down. If Arena Demons was first rounded, or if they didn't make it into playoffs, we would say, okay, well done. You know, Arena Demons is going against pro teams. You know, no sweat off their back. Maybe they'll come back in the next tournament. We'll see if they can perform well and improve. But the fact that they've made it this far, again, they quite honestly still have nothing to lose. Even if they did lose in grand finals, second place for a team that's not represented by an org and relatively unknown players, that's a massive accomplishment, right? So at this point, they just got to have fun. But I know they want that victory. They're passionate, and they have the stats to prove that. Their stats, in fact, really dwarf that of Sentinels. I mean, aidanthedestroyer, 50 total kills across 15 games. The man's putting in work. You love to see it. So let's get into my favorite portion, and this is going to be an important portion. The last time we get to do our predictions on set. I've been starting with you, but Gaskin, I think it's finally time to go back to you to start us off. Who you going with?
You know, I wanted to say Sentinels because I said they were going to be underdogs in the previous series. They then turned up against G2, but I think it's just foolish to go against Arena Demons at the moment. With how they've been playing, they look absolutely phenomenal. They look like they're not going to lose whatsoever. So I'm going to have to go with the Arena Demons. I just think it'd be silly to go otherwise.
Fair enough. Arena Demons looking powerful on set. Are you in agreement or do you disagree?
I agree with absolutely everything Dan said. I think that he's made some really good points about Arena Demons. That it's very difficult to go against them. So obviously I'm picking Sentinels. Sentinels are going to win. I think that Sentinels, the one thing that there's a little bit of magic in Sentinels, right? And that's the thing I think is going to make the difference. There's consistency, there's brilliance from Arena Demons, but Sentinels, a couple of their players have this insane movement. And I feel like if they can get into places of elevation and they can be really tricky and like in and out of bubble fights quickly, they could upset Arena Demons here. I think it's about them trying to close the gaps as quickly as possible. And if they can do that with their movement, I think Sentinels can win. But it is a little bit of like an outside pick. I don't think they're favorites. I just think that there's a way they can win this.
Fair enough. You talked about closing the gap. That's clearly been very important across multiple teams, in fact, because, you know, Arena Demons are not shy about that range game. They love it with the 30-30 repeater, and that's something they've been specializing in. Chad, who are you going with, those Sentinels, Arena Demons? Arena Demons, who have, like I said in the last series versus Ghost, hey, they are the favorite amongst the people. Now this is their time to shine and not drop the ball. Hey, we'll see how it's going to work out. Sentinels beating G2 was no easy feat, so you got to put a lot of weight into that victory. This is going to be a great grand finals. I'm here for it. Onset Gaskin, take it away.
Thank you, Taylor. I'm hyped. I've got to be honest, everybody at home who's watching right now, Dan alongside me, he's got a smile on his face because he knows grand final just hits a little bit different, doesn't it? And these two teams, what stories they are as well. Arena Demons, we hadn't heard of these players at all coming into the tournament yesterday. They've smashed their way through the bracket. They've proven they're one of the best arena teams in the world. And now they have the opportunity here, Dan, to take home first place.
Yeah, it's not something they would have been expecting, or maybe they were expecting it because they've had so much confidence. They've put so much practice in. Maybe they looked at these teams and said, you know what, we could probably take down all of them. It's a weird position for Sentinels to be in because you look at it on paper and they're the favorite, but they're really the underdogs coming into this because Arena Demons have been slapping everyone in their path. Sentinels have had some tough games. As I say, there's been a few times they've lost back here or there. Maybe they shouldn't have. Whereas aside from one map on Party Crasher out of this current best of 5 we have anyway, we've only seen Arena Demons lose there. Like, they have literally won every other game. And it was just that one Na'Vi game where they brought out the charge rifle, and I don't think Arena Demons really knew how to deal with it. And now they know how to deal with everything. They seem to have an answer, even when their opposition brings out that plan B or that plan C.
Well, let's see if they can deal with what Sentinels are about to bring to the party. It's time for the grand finals to kick off. It's a best of 5. The $10,000 Invitational is going to come to its conclusion in these next 5 games. We're starting off here on Gardens, and we're starting off with the point of view of senoxe here from Sentinels.
So something we saw happen very much often in this tournament on this map is just the grenade tactic. When you do get the high ground and you have to play the low ground, you just bag up some grenades and you toss them at the same time, and then you need to be ready to get into an engagement because either the team above you is going to drop to avoid the grenades, or quite often the nades blow them off of the building and then you naturally fall into an engagement anyway. There's the 30-30 repeater again doing work, just the jump peak shot ensuring you get the first tag here and saying to Sentinels, hey, we're here to play.
Yeah, first round, you're not going to have those frag grenades in the inventory, so it's going to be a straight gunfight between the two. A Peacekeeper in the hands of Aidan the Destroyer with the choke on as well, of course. He's going to be able to charge that up and hopefully land a big shot to do big damage, and that might be the signal to push. You have to feel for Sentinels a little bit here with the fact that they haven't managed to get the more advantageous side in this first round where they could possibly take that high ground. It's been taken by Arena Demons, so Sentinels already on the back foot positionally here. It's going to be difficult for them to work their way into a position to actually hit some shots. But look at Dimmy. Dimmy's getting a little bit interested in getting a little bit of a flank on.
Dimmy's getting a little bit frisky here, just trying to go for an off angle. Could be caught off guard if he isn't careful, so has to keep a keen eye. Of course, as Pathfinder, you can grapple away if there is a risky push coming from the other side of Sentinels. But at the moment, it's just a little bit of a poke off, seeing what damage you can do, try and deplete those resources, try and get rid of some of those shield cells and batteries. And Arena Demons are going to be more than happy in their current residence. They don't need to move right now. They can play the slow game. And I imagine we will see round 2 close. But the bubble is forced. And actually, there is going to be somewhat of a push here.
Well, here goes Arena Demons. They were thinking about having a little push. However, they decided to retreat for now. Only RahKnee without full HP on the team at the moment. Dimmy with the wingman in his hands. He's looking to hit a few shots. However, he takes a little bit of chip damage. And it's going to be Lou, who's just going out a little bit wider here, and interesting to see the fully upgraded Mozambique. So Lou just with those flicks and the tricks, using that wrist to the best of his ability to get that Mozambique to hit a few shots and just milk away at that HP total that is here on Arena Demons.
It's so important to win the first round here on Gardens, I feel, because it is one of the more even rounds. I know there is going to be one team having a side advantage ever so slightly, but without the ultimates, you can't get that as fast. But Arena Demons doing some damage here, but RahKnee's gone down.
RahKnee's gone down. Crust is in a position to maybe do some damage himself. Aidan the Destroyer and Dimmy, both of their shields broken, and now Lou as the Pathfinder, his last player alive here, he will be taken down, and Arena Demons, once again, the patience pays off as the Demons go up by 1.
Yeah, Arena Demons just able to get the high ground in the initial push. Sentinels having to play low ground and having to wait and see what happens. Arena Demons were the ones looking to try and initiate the fight, though. They were constantly going for the poke. They were the ones who were moving their way down to see if they could reposition and get an angle. But of course, it is much easier when you do have that high ground. But, well, is this going to be how this rolls in the grand final? Are we going to now see Arena Demons just to continue their domination from throughout this tournament into the grand final, or is this going to be a back and forth grand final? I would love to see it go all the way, if I'm completely honest. I don't want to see just one team absolutely demolish the other. But here comes the launch pad. Take that high ground straight away.
Jump pad down. High ground collected here by Arena Demons. They look to the sky to see if there's any nades flying their way, and it doesn't look like there is any at the moment. Dimmy going to be taken down to very low shields, and not just that, actually senoxe is going to win that battle, and the first down this time will go... excuse me, senoxe actually got taken down, as I look at the kill feed correctly. So he will be eliminated. Sentinels, who are on the back foot to start with, now find themselves already down a player here, and it looks like he might have also disconnected by the looks of things, senoxe. He's completely gone. There's no way you get him back into the game. And that was all up to Crust and Lou to try and work their way back in.
Imagine if it was a rage quit. It's not. Probably not. Hope it's not. But imagine.
Spreading these vicious rumors.
I like controversy in my life. Arena Demons should win this 3 versus 2 now, but they are being patient. I like this from them. No risks being taken. You don't want to throw yourselves into a 3 versus 2 where you could still potentially get out-angled. 2 people shooting you, just crossing fire and doing some serious damage. So instead, just a couple of pings, communication from the Arena Demons. They will wait, and they will say, Sentinels, hey, you've got to come to us here.
45 from Dimmy is going to almost break the shields here of Lou, and now the push might come in. RahKnee going to be pretty weak though, but that charged up shot is going to do some damage. Crust actually manages to pick up one though, so he's turned this into a momentary 2v2. Aiden is in position here to get the res off. However, here comes a flying Crust, and here comes an exchange of shots, and Crust was flying one way and now he's flying the other, and that's straight down to the ground to join his teammate Lou, as Arena Demons will go up by 2.
Flying Crust is usually what happens when we share a pizza. You get pretty angry after your pizza, and Crust just seem to, I don't know. Why don't you eat your crusts? I've always wondered that.
Me?
Yeah.
I eat my crusts.
Oh, well, half of the time they come
out. No, I eat everything. I eat mine and yours most of the time.
Oh, so it's my crust you're throwing to your own mouth. Okay, at least we got to the bottom of it. I was wondering why they were being tossed around the room. Well, we'll see whether Sentinels can get back to a full 3, but Arena Demons have a 2-0 lead right now, and you'd imagine that with the economic advantage, they will be able to turn this into a 3-0 and win map number 1 here on Gardens.
Yeah, it might have been a little bit of an observer bug, as you can see. senoxe is in the game, so it's a straight 3v3 once again. Arena Demons going to slide their way up the zip line, and I tell you what, Dimmy's going to hit some crazy shots once again with the wingman. Aidanthedestroyer, though, does go down. Here's the bubble, and this is what I was talking about. If they can close this gap quickly, then maybe, just maybe, Sentinels could find their way back into this one. RahKnee's going to be last player alive. The black hole is there, but it's not in position to do any damage. It's a 3v1. RahKnee, a 30-30 repeater. Well, only himself to try and pull out some sort of crazy play here. It's going to be very difficult for him to do, and this could be Sentinels closing in on their first round here on Gardens.
This is smart. Gather the materials around the map, because it's very unlikely you're going to win. You got a 30-30 and a dream. Maybe you can actually catch one viral card, but here comes the melees, and it's just a kind of tool around, a play around, playing with your food, as Sentinels know full well they had won that round after that initial knock, and that is a fast and very aggressive push from Sentinels. They did very well at ensuring that Arena Demons had to take an early fight. They weren't able to get any sort of map advantage. And now Arena Demons need to go back to the playbook here. They've got one more map point to try and take this. But Sentinels, they have done very well in their comebacks throughout this tournament.
I love watching Lou. It's so funny to watch sometimes. Straight 3v1, there's pretty much no way they'll lose it. And he decides that he's going to get the ninja moves out. He's going to go for a little bit of Krav Maga, maybe a little bit of karate. I'm not quite sure what martial art that Pathfinder is actually versed in. However, it was effective and it worked. And here comes Sentinels once again. This time it's going to be the punches and the kicks. It's going to be the zip line coming in here from Sentinels, and you would imagine that the grenades will be coming pretty soon as well, as Dimmy manages to get some insane shots with the wingman. Doing 120 plus damage, and here come those nades. However, Sentinels have to give up the high ground. They have done so, but they haven't taken a knock, so you have to feel like Sentinels will actually not be too disappointed with this.
That's why you've got the Horizon on the team, though. You can take that high ground off them after you force them back with the grenades. Dimmy again, this man just does not miss, but there's the bombardment to try and regain the high ground in your favor. So these are how the legends really can affect the map, and there's a lot of thought process behind them. You've obviously got to spend those materials on the ultimates, but now Sentinels, they're pushing it.
They are. Lou gets the first knock and manages to grapple out of danger as well. So a 3v2 here for Sentinels. Bubble goes down as well, and it looks like some aggressive play coming in here from Sentinels. Dimmy going to be last player alive as Aiden will fall. And that's going to be Sentinels getting their second on the board. And this is what I was talking about. This is how Sentinels can take down Arena Demons. It's the speed at which they can close the gap onto their opponents and not let them set up and get the chip damage, which has brought them so much success so far.
I tell you what, we've got a game on our hands here. I was a little bit worried at 2-0, thinking that this was going to be just the same old story, but Sentinels are not going out without a fight, ensuring that they take that fight really early. Don't worry about resource management. Don't worry about any sort of kind of strategy, to be completely honest. Instead, it's just saying, let's trust in our ability to outshoot our opponents, which is a brave thing to do against Arena Demons, who very rarely miss. But sometimes when the focus is right, when the team shot is there, you can just single out that one player.
Well, Aiden's going to take a little bit of damage on the cross here already. But so is Lou on the Pathfinder. 38 to him. Some Skynades going to be coming in as well, but none going to be connecting. It looks like Sentinels haven't invested heavily into grenades, but a couple are certainly going to be there. And Lou's on the chase right now. There is one player down below. There's also a player behind Lou that he has to be very, very careful about. As RahKnee manages to get that battery off momentarily, and Lou's going to have to escape here back to his teammates. Great move from him. Dimmy has gone down to the hands of senoxe as well. So Sentinels really starting to heat up here as RahKnee hits some good shots onto senoxe, but it's not enough. He'll fall as well to the hands of Lou, and it's all up to Aidan now. He's in the skies. Lou's going to be joining him as well, and even though Lou is taking a hell of a lot of damage, it's not enough. Sentinels from 2-0 down now find themselves 3-2 up and on map point.
Again, Lou was just kung fu fighting in the air there, said, you know, let's have some fun with this. Let's show the same disrespect to Arena Demons that they've shown to all of their opposition throughout the tournament. Some punches came out whilst on the grab lift of Horizon, but a lovely push from Sentinels once again, despite the high ground being taken by Arena Demons, the grenades forcing them off. The damage from the grenades was, of course, very important indeed. But Arena Demons, after going 2-0 up, now on the verge of losing map number 1, which would be a huge shock.
I think that Lou really wanted to dance there in the sky. I think it was a little bit of a solo move in the atmosphere there. But Arena Demons, they need to answer back now because they could be down 1-0 in this series. Sentinels are going to go low here as the Sky Nades go up. It looks like both teams have decided that they don't want to take that high ground initially. A black hole has also gone down here. And that's going to be from Arena Demons. Aidan on a little bit of a flank here. Sentinels all caught inside of this building. You can see Lou's had his shields broken. But as I say that, we get the point of view of Lou as he pops that battery back to full health now.
Just trying to jump to get a peek through the window to see if they can get any sort of knowledge. That's going to be an aggressive push from Lou, and he's going to be punished for it. Aidan the Destroyer gets the first and the second, and will clean things up. Arena Demons tied up 3-3. So it looks like we're going to be going all the way here on Gardens.
Yeah, I like the idea there from Lou. I think he unfortunately just wasn't able to retreat in time. He tried to use the zip and the jump zip just to give as small as audio cue as possible to try and get some shots down, but just left himself a little bit too exposed, got taken down, and then Arena Demons took advantage of that. So great play there from Arena Demons, even though those shots did come in. But again, it's just that moment's difference, isn't it? As you see Aidan Destroyer finally cleaning things up here with some great EVA 8 shots at the end. I barely missed a bullet. Simple as that sometimes. Just don't miss. Arenas is easy, Dan. Just don't miss.
I mean, that's been the way Arena Demons have approached this entire tournament, is they do not miss, whether it be 30-30 repeater, whether it be Wingman, whether it be EVA 8, Peacekeeper. It's been honestly very impressive, but also terrifying at the same time. I wonder whether they are human at times, but here we go. We're into round number 7. Again, nades are going to play an important factor. senoxe will go down, and the early lead for Arena Demons.
Dimmy is the first one to get that opening kill again, and now it's all up to Crust. In Crust we trust, but unfortunately, he cannot do anything this particular occasion. Too much for even Crust to do. As now Arena Demons, from finding themselves down on match point, now find themselves on match point. What a turnaround from the 3 gentlemen who have surprised all of us with their amount of strategy, talent, and straight up pure aim that they've brought to the party here at the Apex Legends Champions Invitational.
We said it was a bold move calling yourselves the Arena Demons. You really have to show up if you're going to have a team name like that, and boy, have they lived up to their name. They have really put a smile on so many faces, I'm sure, with just how they've changed the meta or how they've decided they want to approach each map. But they still have to get the W here. They need one more point, otherwise this is going to sudden death.
Well, up to the high highs, as Lou will have to avoid a couple of grenades here as they will fall at his and his teammates' feet. Crust will have his shields broken. Another grenade going to be thrown into the sky, and some arc stars in the back pocket as well. No knocks coming in as yet, and Crust should be able to get his shields back up. Here comes the grab lift from Horizon. Look at those shots from RahKnee as well. Crazy, crazy shots to hit through the air. However, no knock still. However, did that arc star get a stick? No, it didn't. Lou managed to get one, I believe. Dimmy's managed to trade that out. It all now falls to senoxe. He's in a 2v1, playing the knockdown shield. If he can get a knock here, he might have a chance. But no, Arena Demons do not give you that kind of opportunity. And they will take home the first map of our grand final.
Arena Demons just still seem to be the same demons, the same crazy slaying power of this 3 has moved into the grand final, and despite a valiant effort from Sentinels, it just wasn't quite enough. They were so close, but the speed was shifted by Sentinels. They changed the pace of that game, and Arena Demons went, okay, let's play that fast then. Let's take these fights early. And as soon as they were ready for those early fights, it was a different game.
Yeah, I think you've summed it up perfectly there. You know, Sentinels, they changed the pace. They decided they didn't want to play this chip damage game, and it worked for them for a couple of rounds, but we always talk about the best teams in the world are the ones who are able to adjust the quickest to the way that a team is playing against them. And as you say, they did not let any opportunity slip through their fingers, whether it be a res being stuck, whether it being a few seconds that a player might have been out of commission, popping a shield battery. They would take every advantage. And once again, Dimmy with the wingman, it's pretty crazy to watch. He is not missing any shots at the moment.
Yeah, it's getting to that point where you just expect him to be hitting everything, so when he does miss a shot, you're like, oh, okay, so he is human. That's all right. I don't have to worry too much. But Arena Demons now need to not get too overconfident, and I think throughout the tournament, they have not done that. They have very much been humble. They've recognized that they are the underdogs, as it were, against some of these fantastic pro players. But there's been a little bit of body disrespect coming in, a little bit of teabagging, and I'm all for it. I'm all for mind games.
Oh, yeah.
At the same time, Arena Demons do need to just kind of stay focused here, carry on doing what they're doing, and then by all means, after you win this series, slap those bodies about, teabag all you like, get it done.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing that Sentinels will always do is try and get in your heads with a little bit of body disrespect. If you can hold up and you can not get involved yourself, just concentrate on the game. There's nothing sweeter than having that final few extra shots going into a death box as you're raising your hand as first place in the tournament. This is the final round that went in. This was Aiden just using the knockdown shields as well, playing around his teammates who are knocked. So that would have been important there. You just feel like if you could have got that one knock there, senoxe, and made that a 1v1, then maybe there might have been an opportunity to just play behind those shields. But alas, it was not to happen. And Arena Demons, as you can see on your screens, 5-3, they take home a Gardens. And even more impressive, Dan, they were down on a match point at one point there.
They were, and now we move into Overflow, which we've argued, or I've argued, is Arena Demon's best map here. They've played it 4 times, they've won it 4 times, and every time in emphatic fashion. On the other side for Sentinels, we have seen them lose Overflow once, so perhaps this is a slight weak point for them, but at the same time, I don't think that either team is going to be thinking too much about map records. Instead, it's just focus on the task at hand. Win those 3v3 engagements, find out how fast the game's going to be played, adjust to how the opposition is going to be approaching the game, and of course, think about those compositions. How are they going to affect things? Are we going to see Bangalore coming into the mix? Are we going to see Gibbies now being introduced to it? So you get the bubbles. All these things can change everything.
Yeah, I think Bangalore is something that Arena Demons have favored on Overflow. It just seems to give them that opportunity to reset, to cut off a little line of sight, and they kind of play around the Bangalore smoke. And the Bangalore is kind of the glue of the team, if you like, for them to play around the other 2 players. It's going to be a very important match though for Sentinels. As I say, it's a best of 5. They don't take this one home, then all of a sudden Arena Demons have to only win 1 out of 3, and we've seen how convincing they've been on pretty much every map at the moment. So for Sentinels, even though their record is poor comparatively to what Arena Demons have done, Dan, they have to win this one, in my opinion. Otherwise, the series could be gone before they know it.
Yeah, for Sentinels, they have to throw stats out the window and just try and overturn the record books here and put statistics in their own favor going into the next game. Overflow has been one of my favorite maps to watch throughout this tournament. I think you get a lot more kind of dense fights happening rather than just these kind of long-range pokey fights with the snipers coming into things. You're forcing teams into a somewhat of an early engagement, but the map is even, the map is fair. There's no things to worry about who's getting high ground and whatnot. So I'm excited for this one. I still think Arena Demons have the momentum coming into it, but Sentinels, it seems like whenever you count them out, they do just kind of crawl back into it, don't they?
Well, let's see if Sentinels are going to set us up for another blockbuster. If they lose this one, then start their way to another reverse sweep. That's a long way in the future, though. For now, it's round 1 of our map number 2 here on Overflow. Aiden the Destroyer taking a little bit of damage early on, but you can see already the smoke's down. Yes, Aiden the Destroyer on Bangalore. This is what they've played with as their composition every single time we've seen them on Overflow.
It is worth noting, with smokes being very much apparent now in this game, that client side and observer side see smokes very differently. Also, digital threats don't really see the outlines on the observer, but the players will. And oh my shred, Sentinels get the first knock. Lou and senoxe combine together to take down RahKnee.
Yeah, RahKnee getting a little bit hungry there for a knock, trying to get an off angle. Dimmy's going to try and hit some shots here with the wingman, and as always, Dimmy will hit those shots with the wingman. The only problem is he's got Lou in his face. He's got a Gibby flying aim. Aiden the Destroyer will be taken down as well, and Sentinels now in a 3v1. They're going to try and finish off this kill before the bat gets popped. And Sentinels, that is a confident boost for them, taking the first round here on Arena Demons' strongest map.
Yeah, take the round, get a slight advantage with economy, get some better weapons, get a couple more bats to work with. and make Arena Demons rethink their entire strategy. But it was just an aggressive push from RahKnee that was punished. It does happen, and I'm okay with it, right? You, as a team, you need to have a player who is confident enough sometimes to push into a situation that will leave them vulnerable, and you're not always going to get out of it. It isn't going to work perfectly every time. Sentinels will punish it on this occasion, but I'm sure on another occasion, it's going to pop off for RahKnee of Arena Demons. But here we go, round number 2. Arena Demons, they need to answer back.
Well, look at this from Sentinels. Immediate, unbridled aggression, just absolutely flying forward. They get flesh damage, but they don't get the knock, and some damage was exchanged. So you would feel both teams maybe have a chance to reset, but look at Lou on the Pathfinder, immediately flying in to get the knock. Sentinels have a 3v2 advantage already.
Yeah, Lou, fantastic from him there, not allowing that one player to get away. Crust turns to dust, though, and it means it's a 2 versus 2. However, Lou has managed to take down Aidan the Destroyer, so Sentinels get the 2 versus 1. They get the final kill, and they will take a 2-0 lead here on what would be, as you say, Arena Demons' best map. So this could be quite the turnaround and quite the surprise if they can make it a 3-0 sweep, and really would just flip this entire series, flip the script, and say, we're probably going all the way.
This is really, really impressive, this from Sentinels, and especially impressive from Lou. He is not letting anybody get away. He is happy to go in on that Pathfinder, use the grapple to eliminate a player who might be a little bit weak. It felt a little bit there for the Gibby, not quite getting that bubble down in time as a microsecond away, but as we know, that's how rounds can be decided. But Sentinels, once again, aggression really being the name of the game for them. That's where they're playing their best Apex arenas here, and 2 match points for them, at least.
Yeah, Arena Demons now need to really look at themselves and say, why are we losing these fights? Is it because we're getting caught off guard? Should we be the ones trying to initiate the fight? Should we be launching ourselves onto Sentinels to try and get that initial damage, and then we can suddenly jump on that final player to ensure he goes down? But Sentinels are now playing a different strategy. That, again, they're dictating the pace, they're switching things up, they're playing a little bit slower here, and Arena Demons, they're the ones who need to change things.
So a little bit of a standoff here. There is that smoke. DigiThreat is going to be on the wingman as well, so be able to see those players. 45 here from Aidan. Maybe not all of the damage you would have wanted, but try to smoke off all the Sentinels here and put those DigiThreats to use, and that's exactly what is happening as Crust will fall, a second will fall just moments afterwards, and I tell you what, the smoke strat was absolutely perfect there for Arena Demons. No surprise to say, they come back into this one, get their first round on the board.
I mean, it looks good. Not that I could actually see anything at that point. It was just all a bunch of smoke and a couple of bullets firing left, right, and center, but it seemed to work for Arena Demons, so...
It's me walking into my kitchen after leaving a pizza in for like 4 hours. You ever done that? By accident, you know?
Is it a pizza that looks like thermal station?
Yeah, always talking about pizza.
Every time
I think I want a pizza.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dan. Sorry to cut you off. Just wanted to throw that in.
Maybe it's your kryptonite is pizza. But, I mean, what we saw there was probably what Sentinels saw. Absolutely nothing. Just getting absolutely drilled in the side. Arena Demons were pushing in and said, you know what, screw this. Forget Sentinels playing the aggressor. Let's utilize the abilities we've got. We've got some smoke. Let's get in their face, and we'll see whether it happens again here in round number 4.
So Arena Demons summoning the power of the Vape Nation to get around on the board. Also an ultimate now for Aidan the Destroyer as well, and he's going to throw that one straight down, so you're going to have that those missiles dropping. However, it looks like Sentinels are in a position to maybe not take too much damage. However, as I say that, the Gibby bubble will go down. The question is now, can Arena Demons close the gap as quickly as possible? And it looks like they're trying to. Lou's trying to play around that bubble. RahKnee's going to be taking down one, and Dimmy's going to be in there as well, getting knocks. And from what was 2 match points for Sentinels, now we're all tied up once again. Sentinels, not for the first time, their match points, map points, I should say, slipped through their fingers.
It's crazy how that's flipped, though, isn't it? Arena Demons go 2-0 up on Gardens, then it becomes 2-2. Sentinels do the same here, gets tied up, and it's just how impressive these teams are at adjusting to their opposition and really seeing how fast the game's going to be played, recognizing what is winning them rounds. And Arena Demons said, well, do you know what is winning us rounds? Bangalore is winning us rounds. DigiThreats are winning us rounds. Even though Sentinels are putting DigiThreats on their weapons as well, they just don't seem to have the same ability to hit the shots through smokes. And the Bangalore ult, it just changed everything. It forced the bubble. It forced them into a position where they could get pushed.
Well, this is aggression. of the highest caliber by definition coming in from Arena Demons. There's grenades outside of the bubble, but they're not going to do damage because already inside of the bubble, there are Sentinels. They're taking damage, although Lou gets one. And Lou, don't make this happen. Lou, oh my word. That's a special player, and that's a special play that gives Sentinels the round.
That was filthy from Lou. Had no right to win that fight. Arena Demons, they pushed in, they got aggressive. There was some immense damage coming from the grenades from Sentinels. I think they had the upper hand when they initially entered the fight, but Arena Demons fought back with some massive shots. But then Lou in a very difficult situation there where he had to hit everything, and it was the melee in the end that cleaned things up. We saw, there's Lou coming into the equation with the Eva rate, hits the shots, the R9 shreds, and then rather than fanning around with just going through the bubble fight, he says, you know what, let's just stick a fist through it.
One thing that was really impressive is movement around the bubble as well. I love watching Lou bubble fight. I've always said I think he's one of the best bubble fighting players that there is in Apex Legends. There was a great example of it. So Sentinels now, not for the first time, I'm sure it's not the last time I'll say this as well, have a map point here to tie up the series. Arena Demons on the back foot, but only for a few moments you would think, as they have roared back every single time. Although flesh damage already being done here by Sentinels to the player that's just behind that pylon in front of them. Dimmy's going to be doing a lot of damage though with the vault, and there is Dimmy actually going to be going down as it's RahKnee trying to cover his teammate. Lou will be taken down and traded, so it's a 2v2 fight here at the moment. senoxe comes around the corner. Now it's a 2v1, all up to RahKnee here for Arena Demons.
Has to get this bat off and then just try and hope that he can hit some incredible shots here to go for the 1 versus 2. But I think actually it's a 1 versus 3. Lou's been picked up, and now this becomes difficult to near impossible. But you never know, RahKnee's done some mad things. Can he turn it into some mad tings? No, probably not. He's dead.
That's a no. That's a negative, and that will mean that Sentinels do close out a map here. We're tied up at 1-1. Oh, we got a series on our hands, Dan Gasket.
First time we've seen Arena Demons lose overflow throughout the entirety of this tournament. It took 5 times, but we finally got there. 5, just the unlucky number for them. Sentinels, they responded well to the aggression, but they also initiated the aggression at times. A shame for Arena Demons to go down, but personally, I'm a little bit happy because it means at least we're going to go to a map number 4, if not maybe a map number 5. But these 6 players are really going toe-to-toe, and you can tell that there is just an extra element where they all want to win. There's a bit of body disrespect in there. There's a little bit of hatred, I feel, which is nice. You like to see some passion.
It's not hatred. It's competitive.
Competitive hatred.
Competitive hatred is what it is, exactly. Well, we're tied up at 1-1. We're going to take a few moments to go to a break while we work out exactly what the term should be for competitive hatred. But when we get back, don't worry, we'll have a solution for you. And more importantly, we'll have Game 3 of our Grand Final.
Welcome back, everybody, to the UMG Champions Apex Legends Arena $10,000 Invitational. I'm Taylor Reflections Noble, joined by Onset and Gasket. Boys, we've got a series at hand. Well done to Sentinels to finally shut down Arena Demons for the first time on Overflow. The movement so crispy. Speaking of which, if you can elaborate on that, Onset, I would love that.
Yeah, I mean, one really good example of it is actually going to come up here, I think, or it might be, it's the Lou play, essentially. Lou's play was nuts, and just the ability on mouse and key to just slide left and right, bob and weave outside of a bubble, it was the difference in the fight, alongside the fact that he didn't miss as well. It's something so difficult to do, of course, at a very, very close range of mouse and keyboard, but that is the difference. You can use your momentum, you can use, the ability to change direction very, very quickly against a controller player, against them sometimes. You can just see, look, bobbing and weaving, and just making sure that he is in and out of that bubble as the shots are being fired from his opponent was so impressive. And not only that, some of the grapples that Lou was hitting as well were crazy to take advantage of damage being done. And I'm just looking forward to map number 3 because I feel like the invidious hostility, is just going to continue here.
It might, and Gasket, I mean, seriously, this is a big win for Sentinels, in my opinion. Phase Runner, though, is going to be a bit annoying, I guess, to play against Arena Demons. The reason why is they are the only team so far to implement a Rampart. Aidanthedestroyer, again, very flexible with his Legends, implementing Rampart. It threw a couple of teams off yesterday. How are you going to counter that?
The counter to a Rampart, realistically, is to play another Rampart or to play a very aggressive dive comp, utilize Octane, just jump on another team, jump on that one player who's probably barricading themselves into one particular area. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think there's too much respect now from both of these teams that they will just be taking that kind of long distance fight. They'll be going for that poke damage. We've seen Sentinels lose this map once. We've only seen on the other side the Arena Demons play it once. So it's hard to predict this one, but whoever does win it might win the entire series.
That's a fact. This is going to be a big one. Deadlocked at 1-1 in any series, in any game, in any tournament, right? Winning that next one, being up 2-1, puts a lot of pressure on your opponents. There's a lot of money on the line, and I think a lot of prestige as well. On Gaskin, this is going to be incredible, boys. Take it away.
Well, game 3 is ready, and I think we're going to get straight into the game, Dan. No hanging around here whatsoever. If you're just joining us, where have you been? Because this series is tied up to 1-1 at our grand finals here, Dan. And I was really impressed with the way the Sentinels did not hold back on that last map. Even though they were down 1 in the series, they realized that the way to take down Arena Demons, like I said, close the gap, get up in their face, use that movement. And for Arena Demons now, I feel like this map might actually play a little bit more into their hands.
Yeah, just jump over their heads. Try and make the stick drift go in your favor. Try and make it so their sensitivity can't reach you. You've got to take any advantage you can against a controller player or 3 controller players who won't miss if you are within their reticule. So it is very difficult, and I love what I've seen from Sentinels to try and counteract what the Arena Demons have done. As Reflections alluded to, we have seen a Rampart here being played by Arena Demons. We may see it again, but Sentinels are going to go for a more traditional comp with the Gibby, the Pathfinder, and the Octane.
Round 1 underway, and did you enjoy the fact that I came up with invidious hostility, Dan? For competitive hatred? I think it's a much more better way of putting it.
I prefer unadulterated hatred. That's what I'm going for.
Cutthroat competitiveness as we watch Aidan the Destroyer on Rampart as expected, like you were saying, Dan, and Lou's already trying to do a little bit of poke damage. Dimmy is trying to exchange that as well, but look at the shots coming in from Crust. And Crust has been probably the standout player for Sentinels on this map, holding down this position, and that's why 30-30 versus 30-30. Crust isn't missing at the moment, and now, oh my word, he snaps to his left and does a little bit more damage.
I mean,
Why don't we just jump over to
fire,
I'm so confused.
Arena Demons, they brought in the 30-30s to the party. Now we need to get, well, maybe we'll get a party crasher a little bit later, but for now on Phase Runner, it seems like Arena Demons have to answer the 30-30s with their own 30-30s, and it's not going well because Dimmy's gone down and Sentinels get the opening pick.
Yeah, senoxe does get that first knock with the wingman in his hands. Crust just making sure that he's in a position to cut off any of these crosses that are coming in. You can see RahKnee's got like 1 HP to work with. Aidan the Destroyer's got none as well. senoxe on the flank is going to pick up yet another. And even though the 30-30 is hitting pretty hard here, it's going to be unfortunately not enough for Arena Demons, and Sentinels will take the first round. And I really felt like a lot of that damage was done by Crust and Gibraltar just poking away behind that cover.
Do you know what? I've just had a thought that whichever team wins, like the excessive amount of teabagging that's going to come through, if you are under 18, I would recommend you just cover your eyes.
Tough on the knees.
Because
very tough on the knees.
It's, you know, it's not going to be fun to watch. There is going to be a lot of body disrespect. There's going to be a lot of shooting the death boxes. You can just feel it in this. There's a lot of pent-up anger between the two. And Sentinels, well, they've come in with the aggression. They've shown Arena Demons that, look, if you want to play the poking game, if you want to go for the 30-30 repeaters, we can hit them shots too. And we've got a wingman. We can hit them shots too. So what have you got? Where is your plan C?
One thing that Arena Demons have done very well, though, is adjust. And we're going to have to see if they can do that once again. Go into the playbook as we get a little fly through of Lou going forward, and that's going to be the counter, and that's taking a few different angles here as Lou is going to be taken down. Now you can see Dimmy just playing around the edge of the bubble as well, and the rest of Arena Demons trying to close this gap. senoxe playing around that bubble. RahKnee doing some good damage as well as Dimmy will go in to get the knock onto Crust, and this is how you answer back for Arena Demons. You get the damage, you take a different angle, and you tie up our third map at 1-1.
That is the perfect way to counter it. Sometimes when you notice a team is just kind of all focusing one spot, if you send one player to the left or right, just get that off angle, make sure you hit those shots. As soon as there's any sort of kind of push or someone is in an open area, they get absolutely beamed. They get completely melted. And Sentinels, they fell short there. Lou just got punished for just slightly stepping out of place, but he wouldn't have known it was out of place. Probably expected Arena Demons to be in a different position. As now it is tied up 1-1. Going into round 3, the economy should be fairly even.
I'm going to have a little bit of change of scenery as well, as we will be seeing both teams go through the portals to take the higher ground away from construction, where we've seen the first 2 rounds take place. So Arena Demons, no surprise, 30-30 is in hand. There's a little bit of amped cover for Aiden to work with once more. However, look at Crust just beaming away, pre-firing and saying, I dare you to poke around that corner.
Yeah, you really want that barricade, buddy? How about I just destroy it before it can even go up? And there comes
the question
like push
Sentinels.
now. Sentinels want to get in on RahKnee, but I wonder whether this push is just a little bit too much.
senoxe versus RahKnee. RahKnee will win it, and Lou will go down as well. So the W key not working this time, as you might trust in Crust, but there's only so much one man can do. He manages to get one, and somehow Crust gets two. Crust is still alive, but thank goodness. For Arena Demons fans anyway, that Crust was finally taken down, because that would have been a very, very worrying moment for Arena Demons there, as Crust somehow managed to turn that situation on its head.
Man, Crust just almost made me feel lust. He is something else. The way he hits shots right now is insane, but it wasn't enough to take down the Arena Demons. But I think you hit the nail on the head in the last game, right? You just need that one player to pop off, but there needs to be the initial damage first. As soon as there's one knock, you feel like Sentinels can take a fight, even if it's a 2 versus 3, even if it's 1 versus 2. But in a 1 versus 3, I think that's just a little bit too far, even though Crust almost pulled off something special.
So Arena Demons, first round they lost, but they've answered back with 2 straight now, and they find themselves on match point as quickly as that. So Aiden back to his position. Sentinel's going to have to rethink their strategy a little bit. They tried to get hyper aggressive, and oh my word, this is not looking good. But senoxe just about managed to stay alive there, taken down to almost 0 HP as more amped cover goes up here for Aiden.
Just look how he's taking the high ground as well. Amazing positioning. Again, well thought out. Which angles can I take? Where can I position myself as this rampart? And oh my, we're going to see Sheila getting involved, I think.
Very interesting to see. So Dimmy, RahKnee, Aiden, and Sheila. Shot's going to be coming in. The cover will be destroyed here by Crust with a 301 in his hands. Flatline with what I affectionately call the telescope on it, the 2x4. RahKnee now having to back up a little bit as just a little bit of poke damage. And you can see the Sentinels have had to slow down the pace now down because of the fact they're on match point against them. They can't afford to give away something. Lou gets taken down. Will they be able to get him back on his feet as a Pathfinder comes flying through the air towards Crust? He's only got a Mozambique to work with alongside the 301, but as we know, Crust can make anything work. However, senoxe, are you close enough to get into a position here to help out your team? Yes, he is. Arena Demons get the first knock, but Sentinels clutch up and take home the round.
Even though they got the first knock, I mean, just clutch Crust. Like, how is he hitting these shots? He thought about taking the fight with the Mozambique, and he was like, oh wait, I forgot. I've got an R301 I can work with. Again, it's just a little bit of bubble dancing. I want some lessons in some of this bubble dancing. I'm completely honest. I would pay £15 an hour to ensure that I can dance as well as this man does. And then he had the support. That's what you need. You need to have your teammate as quick as possible, getting on your back foot and joining you for a merry jig.
1,200 MSP. For a little bit of bubble that kind of thing. Trying it back to 2010 here. Well, Sentinels.
1 month free trial.
3 day.
3 day
anyone got a code? Anyway, Sentinels tying things up here against Arena Demons, holding off a match point, and now Arena Demons will look to get an advantage again and find themselves onto match point. Same can be said for Sentinels, though, as some interesting angles going to be taken this time by Aiden, not playing up on where we've seen him previously, taking that slightly wider angle. And look at this, Sentinels might have realized that with that angle being taken, they can get aggressive. They can create a momentary 3v2.
RahKnee getting away, though. That's the benefit of the Octane being your kind of flanking player. Can just sprint away, be the same nuisance that he is in Battle Royale. Very difficult to chase at times, even with your own Octane. As everyone gets back to pretty much full health, everything will be reset. You can see how the players are positioned there on the top left of your map. 3 players very separate when you look at Arena Demons, all scouting various different areas, whereas the Sentinels are a lot more kind of clumped together right now.
Nice little position here from RahKnee. 30 just going to miss that shot as Lou goes flying through the skies once more with that grapple. So a little bit of a standoff between the two teams, and understandably so, as both teams now have the fact that we're in round 5, a little bit more to work with med-wise. They don't have to get it too aggressive, but there's a gold R9 that's been found off that care package, and maybe when it gets up close and personal, that could be the difference maker.
Dimmy's got very low, but should be able to bat up with the support from Aidan the Destroyer. There's the crack, the 30-30 repeater again, just being a real thorn in the side of the opposition. And now is going to have just a little bit of shields to work with. happily sitting back and taking an angle here and saying, look, I dare you to come push me.
Crust is not going to be thinking about pushing too much at the moment, as that grenade did a lot of flesh damage to him. Aidan the Destroyer is trying to get a little bit more of an angle, though, to move up upon that damage. Crust will get his shields back. Aidan the Destroyer will have his broken, as Crust now tries to poke and cover his teammates. Still has to think about that HP, though, as he does have full shields, but as you saw, the health not quite where he wanted it to be. RahKnee overlooking this. Aidan the Destroyer in a little bit of a tough spot here as senoxe and Lou try and get an angle, but things going to slow down for just a moment as everyone has to, once again, hit those meds.
Great covering fire from both teams at the moment to ensure that no one is getting knocked. As soon as there's one player that's weak, you get the bait and switch, and now we get the engagement. Lou is just a slither of health. You could breathe on him and he'd go down. There's the 30-30 repeater. It's a 2 versus 2. 30-30 hits hard yet again, and now it's a 2 versus 1.
2 versus 1. RahKnee will be taken down, though, by senoxe. Senoxe has to pop a battery, though, and Aidan might not be too aware that he doesn't have anything to play with. The Barry does get popped, however. It's going to be Aidan who wins that one. He had the advantage of having the knockdown shield to play around, and now Arena Demons back onto match point. A big, big clutch coming in from them.
So let's talk 30-30 repeater, right? With what is happening with the Arena Demons, they're essentially giving themselves 3 guns. You've got an automatic weapon, you've then got the 30-30 repeater from distance, and then when it's upgraded, you've got the shatter caps on it, which you can switch to, which of course works like a shotgun. So it means you've just got a little bit of everything, making it every single engagement, every single fight, you can pick and choose how you want to approach it, and it's very difficult as a team going up against that to know what to do. Do we take distance? Do we try and go short range? Do we go mid range? There's an answer all the time from Arena Demons. Sheila's been purchased again. It didn't really work out in the last round. They bought the minigun, but maybe this time it can really do some damage.
I feel like there's an 80s and 90s song with the word Sheila in it, about someone called Sheila, but it's, let me know in the chat if you can think of it. I don't think...
Something like that.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I think Cecilia's the one that's actually coming along.
Yeah.
Cecilia.
Yeah,
But we'll call it, it's Sheila. This is an important round. I need to focus up because here comes Lou. He's going to get the first knock of the game onto RahKnee. And that's the aggression I love seeing from Lou on the Pathfinder. 3v2 situation. Dimmy, last player alive here. The 3v1 turns into a 3v0. Sentinels again. Aggro. 3-3.
Sentinel said, you know what, screw your singing, please shut up. Sheila's not even going to be initiated, not even dropped onto the map.
It wasn't just Sentinels that said that.
It was the entire chat saying, please stop. But wow, look at this from Lou. He really has perfected the grapple into slide, into crouch, into everything you can do to increase that movement speed. And well, we're at 3-3. Nothing to separate the two. First to 5 now, and we may end up in sudden death. The zip is going to be purchased as the ult just to try and get to the center of the map, or at least the center of the circle, as quick as possible here for Sentinels. As now we breathe, we stop thinking about singing, and we need to focus on how Arena Demons are going to try and take the advantage once again.
This is a verbal apology to everyone who was watching, and if anyone's left because of that singing, I could only apologize once again. But now we're going to see Dimmy try and get a little bit more aggressive on the Pathfinder, immediately steal away those meds. And you have to say the Sentinels were nowhere to be seen in that early engagement, or a little bit of movement, I should say. Crust once again with the scout in hand this time. Trying to just thread the needle with those G7 scout bullets behind the lid of the pill. And ooh, good morning. That's one way to be woken up as Aidan the Destroyer. That's the 30-30 repeater in hand once more. Lou going to take a little bit of a wider angle. Aidan knowing exactly where he's going to be, forcing Lou now to retreat. So we're back to what I would say is a pace which suits Arena Demons a little bit more than it does Sentinels.
And you might be asking yourself, why aren't Sentinels kind of pushing the advantage when they know Aidan the Destroyer is on one side of the map and the other two are fixated somewhere else? Well, it's because it's very difficult to position yourself whilst you're getting shot from the other side. But hello, holy shred! Lou manages to take down Dimmy, and now you push, now you take advantage.
Aidan the Destroyer, you're about to be destroyed, my friend, because there's 3 players flying at you. Even that Skynade isn't going to be saving you at this point. He gets some shots with a 30-30 repeater, and even though they were clean, Sentinels move on to map point. That was a very, very impressive flank there from Lou. So much damage done with the flatline. And now Sentinels, as I say, once again, on map point.
And I was about to say that, you know, why aren't Sentinels pushing? It's because Arena Demons are usually very aware of where the flank is coming from, and they transition and they meet one another to ensure they're not too far away from each other. But didn't really happen on that occasion. I think there was maybe overconfidence in one of those engagements where they continued to face for a little bit too long. Perhaps thought they had more health than they did. And Sentinels took full advantage of that. They now take the advantage in the game. They're 1 point off winning this map and going 2-1 up. Sheila will be purchased once again. Maybe this time it can really shred through the armor of Sentinels and take us to sudden death.
Well, an interesting thing here is the Sentinel's been purchased this time to be used, but here's Sheila, and she's singing 83. Not going to quite get the crack onto Crust, but certainly doing some damage. But back to my point, the Sentinel has been purchased ahead of the 30-30 repeater, and it's been charged up with a shield cell as well, so it's going to do that extra damage as it's amped up. And we're now going to see a Gibby bombardment coming in as well, which is going to force, you would imagine, Arena Demons down off of this platform they find themselves in for now. And they're going to be rotating now across that bridge, spreading themselves out well. You have to say, they move so well as a unit, Arena Demons.
That's one way to stop the minigun as well. Just throw an ult towards it. If it doesn't destroy it, at least forces the person who is controlling it off it.
Flatline. Still in the hands of Lou. We saw the amount of damage he did with it last time. senoxe going to have to be very careful as the Kraber's been found by Crust. It's just a body shot. It's not the knock. But that will be something absolutely massive in this round for Sentinels, and he's actually going to drop it off. And if you just hit a shot like that and you're giving it to a teammate, that shows the trust and the ability that you're putting it into the hands of senoxe.
I like what you said the first time, but Kraber will be passed off, and now it is going to be...
Holy before that one, we would have been right.
Really just a lot of responsibility handed to your teammate there. And, you know, if you're not confident with a Kraber, very much pass it off. But I want to see this shot very much secured now, because it is going to be the hands of senoxe. Hit yourself a headshot, young man. Show us why you've been passed the Kraber, because that is a huge weight on your shoulders. Bang!
Oh, he whips one round a corner, but doesn't connect. But now, for Arena Demons, they are going to be terrified, petrified, and that's why senoxe, 290, 145, go for the clip, he gets taken down. The clip was good enough, RahKnee on his own again. senoxe is an animal, and Sentinels will win the map.
I tell you what, I said he had to hit the shots. I said it's a lot of weight on your shoulders, and boy, did he deliver the headshot and then the body shot to get the 2K. Didn't even matter that he went for the third. Sentinels take the lead in this grand final 2-1, and for the first time, Arena Demons find themselves on the back foot.
Nuts, absolutely nuts plays coming in from senoxe at the end there. Wonderful to watch, a lot of fun to watch. This series has had everything so far, and now for Arena Demons, Dan, they've got some questions to answer, because I felt like that's a map that really would have favored the way that they like to play, but I just feel like they're not being allowed to play by Sentinels. They are taking any opportunity to hold forward and get up in their faces and just make them feel uncomfortable.
Sentinels, is it down to just kind of experience at this point? The fact that they have played at the top level in Apex Legends, regardless that it isn't arenas, it's actually Battle Royale, but do nerves start to play a part in this? Has the occasion got a little bit too big for Arena Demons now, where they're suddenly like, I mean, holy crap, we're in a grand final here, guys. Like, we can't choke this. We've been dominating. Suddenly, we're the favorites, and it looks like they're just not quite shooting as well as they have been throughout the tournament. That needs to change going into this map number 4, because we know what they're capable of. We know why they're favorites coming into it. The Sentinels have had an answer every single time.
The thing now that also comes into mind is, you know, Sentinels have been in finals before. They've been in ALGS finals, huge tournaments. They've got this kind of experience under their belt. I wonder if the pressure is starting to get to Arena Demons a little bit here. It's not a situation they're going to be as familiar in, being in, you know, a grand final, back against the wall, need to perform kind of situation. So it's going to be a very interesting game that's coming up now on next map to see how they actually react to that pressure.
Yeah, and then the next map is going to be an important one as well. We're moving over to Party Crasher, I believe. Yes, we are, and we have seen Arena Demons lose Party Crasher. It was against Na'Vi. It was when we saw the kind of long distance come into the equation, and there just wasn't an answer to it. And it seems like there was a similar thing that happened in this game. The snipers started to come out. The distance shots were really playing a part, and maybe we're going to see Sentinels now close out this tournament on map number 4.
A little bit sad that we didn't get the every single bullet finding a body there from senoxe towards the end, but you know, I'm a perfectionist. I like these kind of things. If it was me, Dan, I would have hit all the headshots, but now senoxe is going to be happy because they got them that round win, and now we move into a position where they can close out this tournament. And what a performance it would be as well, Dan. You know, this isn't the full Sentinels lineup. This is Lou coming in to play alongside 2 established teammates in senoxe and Crust, and they've looked like such a good unit that it's been really fun to watch.
Well, you'd have to imagine that even if you are the same team coming from Battle Royale, there's still a lot to learn when it comes to arenas. So everything they've been able to learn throughout this tournament, they've just been able to gel. They've been able to form. They went from a very shaky start in this tournament to slowly but surely solidifying to this point now where they're in a grand final, they have the lead and they're one map away from being the champions, and they would be deserved champions. Beating the boys they're going up against would be no easy feat. Arena Demons have been absolutely insane. They have been demolishing everyone within their path, everyone in front of them throughout the tournament. And now Sentinels have said, you know what? We're tired of this kind of story of the underdogs coming through and winning the entire thing. Let's show why we should be the favorites and why people shouldn't have been counting us out.
Well, we're moments away from getting into our next map, and this is the opportunity for Sentinels to close it out. On the flip side of it, if Arena Demons do manage to take this one home, Dan, we will be going into a game 5, and you just feel like it's kind of series that should go down to a game 5. You can feel a little bit of animosity between the teams. You can see there's been these crazy flashy plays. I want to see a game 5. Sentinels fans will not want to see a game 5, but now we're going into our map number 4. It is, like you said, Dan, Party Crasher, and this is one where Sentinels have the opportunity to close things out and take home first place.
I feel like this is going to be one of those series where you just wish it was a best of 7 if it does go to a game 5, because there is just so much thought process behind everything here, and there's so many like minor details that allow one team to win a round, one team to win a map at times. We have seen the Valkyrie in use on the side of the Demons several times throughout this tournament, so you imagine it's probably going to happen again, which it will. Aidan the Destroyer back onto the Valkyrie. That is both to use it to gain height, the missiles to just zone your opponent, and also the ultimate to get places quickly as Sentinels go down. They're already falling.
Yeah, Lou fell there, and I think that Arena Demons are more than used to that strategy. Crust now in a very, very difficult position. Bubbles towards his teammate senoxe, though, just to give him a little bit more time to work with. He's got 30-30 in hand, and oh my word, they've turned it into a 2v2, but it isn't a 2v2 that has too much HP on their side. Arena Demons win the first round here, and you have to say, maybe for Lou, that was a little bit choreographed, going for those meds a little bit early.
Yeah, we've seen it a few times from Pathfinders, haven't we, in general? Just kind of the zip straight to the meds and then return to the team. But as tournaments do progress, a meta kind of develops within that tournament, and you realize where people are going to be, and you can kind of pre-fire it or pre-nade it, depending on the round. It would be great for Arena Demons here if they could just 3-0 sweep this map and regain that confidence, regain that belief, maybe push that kind of worry that we were talking about, that lack of experience, that lack of finals, which are on the opposition side. Sentinels have been here. Here comes the Valkyrie ult to reposition and get into a place of benefit earlier than your other team. You can be railed out of the air, but on this occasion, it's not going to happen.
Also gives you the information on where the other team are with the passives, so they're going to know exactly where Sentinels are, and they know they're going to be facing up against the 3 Sentinels players. As we're actually going to see Aidan the Destroyer try and take a little bit of a cheeky angle, and that's another wonderful thing you can do with Valkyrie. You can afford to drop down low, see if you can get a little bit of an angle, and also hit the jets and escape back up to your teammates very, very quickly, as we see Aidan do exactly that in front of our very eyes.
Just got to make sure you bat up here. Regroup with the team. You've got the high ground over Sentinels, so you can be a little bit patient. You do not have to initiate the fight. You can try and say to Sentinels, look, you are the ones who need to move first. You just got to be careful not to throw anything away here. And that could be getting stuck by a grenade. That could be just showing a little bit too much leg and getting drilled by an automatic weapon.
Dan Gaskin on a night out.
Yeah, just me, you know. Too high a dress from me on the night out, but Sentinels have been tagged down a little bit. Lou is low, but it doesn't look like Arena Demons want to take the fight just yet. But as I say that, the bubble comes in.
senoxe will go down here, and you can see that Lou's going to drop some frag grenades behind him. So a little bit of a difficult situation. Lou just spinning around frantically, trying to land some shots. My word, does he land some shots? Lou in all sorts of problems, but survives for now with the grapple. Might be able to turn this into a 1v1. He does. But just not the HP to work with to turn that into a winnable situation. Arena Demons on match point now, and I kind of floated the idea of a match 5, a game 5, and I tell you what, it's looking like we might be going there.
Yeah, but every time we've had a team go 2-0 up on a map, it suddenly turns into 2-2 very quickly. It doesn't seem like anyone's been able to really take advantage of the fact that they have a 2-0 lead and they are on map point. Sentinels Lou, he certainly made a meal of that one. He was almost turning it around and almost just came up with one of the clutches of the day. can Arena Demons just get that 3-0 that they so desperately need here and really turn it around on Sentinels and say, hey, actually, you're not going to be able to walk away with this one. We're here to play. We're taking it to a game 5.
Well, we're going over to the Mirage Voyage, a little bit crashed into the ground side. I can't remember the exact terminology that used. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's secondary to what's about to happen. 42 damage with the 30-30 repeater. And somewhere on the west coast of America right now, everybody knows that Courage is watching this and seething, seeing a 30-30 repeater being used so effectively. But for now, both teams standing off against each other. Sentinels being forced to play a little bit slower as they take quite a lot of damage once again from the crossfire coming in from Arena Demons, but Lou has one more grapple left to use after he pops these batteries, but the damage being done has allowed Arena Demons now to push up and take the height away from Sentinels.
They've really got the position, haven't they? They've been able to kind of force them back into a little bit of a sticky situation, into a bubble. The shots coming in. The 30-30 repeater again is just raining down hell from above. There's the right hook as well, and this should be the clear up. Arena Demons take us to a game number 5.
Oh, run it up. Game number 5. That was a wonderful show there in the end. The shots with the 30-30, the right hook, and then the no-scopes. I'm going to call it a no-scopes. Not really. It's hip fire, isn't it? But, you know, it made it sound better. If you titled a clip as that, I'd watch it. And it will be a game 5 now, Dan, as Arena Demons. You said that they didn't look particularly strong. They have lost some games on Party Crasher. Well, I think form book goes out the window when it gets to our finals. And like I said, ladies and gents, time for us to go to a game 5. But before we get there, we're going to go for a very, very quick break. So don't go anywhere. As I say, game 5 hype is real. See you in just a few moments.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a wonderful grand finals for the UMG champions Apex Legends Arena $10,000 Invitational. I don't know if it's Arena Demons pushing Sentinels to a game 5 or Sentinels pushing Arena Demons to a game 5. Either way, this has been an incredible series. It quite honestly is. And Onset, I had a chance to talk to you during that short little break, and I was saying how impressive it is for Arena Demons to be a team that they are playing against Sentinels. You know, Sentinels, they've got a large chip on their shoulder. They're representing an amazing organization. Lou, a talented player in his own right, filling in for this 3-stack. But for Arena Demons to lose Phase Runner, be a map down on the brink of losing grand finals, but then to turn things around, go to Party Crasher and beat them in a convincing 3-0, that's impressive. That shows composure.
Yeah, I wouldn't just say they beat them. They beat them. They just beat them into the ground. It wasn't even close. Like, it was just a straight sort of wipe across the board. It was as clean as you could possibly get. And that clip at the end there from Aiden was absolutely nuts. The hip fire with the 30-30, then using the jets on Valk to get up and punch Lou in the face, and then dropping down and just style points all the way through to get the clip. I respect that. You've got to go for the clips, even in the grand final. So a crazy way to close things out. But I mentioned this is the kind of final that deserves a game 5. Here we are.
I agree.
The map is very interesting for me as well. Artillery, I think that heavily favors Arena Demons. But having said that before, Sentinels have answered back and they've said that it doesn't really matter. So it's going to be a great game 5.
I'm about to hop off, but I'll leave this with you, Gaskin. I mean, Arena Demons, Onset says, you know, this benefits them going into Artillery. They're so aggressive on this map, but the way that they do it is just beautiful. Aiden with the Horizon is just incredibly dangerous, whether it's the black hole or him utilizing, you know, just the elevation and getting behind his opponents is incredible. Plus their ability to collapse on high ground with a knock is just unparalleled. This is going to be a tough map for Sentinels to win. But let me say this, Gaskin, whoever does win this is absolutely the best team, because this has been a great series all around. I'm going to hop off. Onset, Gaskin, take it away.
I mean, I couldn't say that better myself, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm hyped, man. I think we've just been hyped up even more. My Reflections has done our job for us, Dan. I'm just going to sit back. It's game 5, everyone. Enjoy it. I'm joking, Dan. It's game 5, everyone. It's the grand finals, and what a final it has been indeed. Sentinels versus Arena Demons. Dan, if you had to put your hair on the line about who is going to win, who would you pick?
You know, I'm a statistics man, right? And both these teams are undefeated on this map, but someone has to lose and a head has to be shaved. So I will put your hair on the line. I think the Arena Demons are going to take this one. If they don't, you will shave your head, and I appreciate that.
That's not how things work, but it's good to see that you're learning a lesson. Well, let's see some hype in the chat for game 5, because that's where we find ourselves in the grand final. Sentinels versus Arena Demons, and I just feel like Sentinels, they might be facing a little bit of an uphill battle here, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, Arena Demons have looked extremely powerful on artillery. They have just been flawless. They've been aggressive at the right times. The 30-30 repeaters, those shots have been stinging into the sides of all of their enemies. But we have seen that Sentinels have answered back with 30-30 repeaters of their own. So it could come down to who just pokes that little bit better. Who can get that early damage and who is more confident to jump on a team when they know, or at least they think, they have the resource advantage.
Well, it looks like a little bit of a rotation coming out here from Arena Demons. Nice shots coming in from Crust once again. He will almost have his shields broken, but Dimmy's going to find himself in a very similar situation, forced to use that shield battery pretty early on here in round number 1. And as we always mention, round number 1, resources are at a premium. So every little bit of damage that's done really does hurt the economy of your team.
Yeah, it just makes it very difficult to get back into a fight when you know you're kind of a cell down or even sometimes an entire back down. As Arena Demons looking to try and make their move ever so slightly, trying to take an angle. Dimmy, who has been very much an aggressor and very much someone who hits wingman shot after wingman shot, just trying to find an angle where he can do some serious damage as aidanthedestroyer, as the Horizon, as usual, is taking a height advantage here just to ensure that he can manage to put the shots down as well.
To remind you all, that's called the gas globe, which is where he's working his way towards doing even more damage. Lu now moving up with the flatline in his hand. That's going to be his starting weapon. And you feel like maybe this is the kind of range that the flatline can do quite a bit of damage in comparison to the 30-30 repeater. That sort of medium range maybe does favor things. senoxe is going to have his shields broken though, and he's going to be forced to move back. But Dimmy's going to be moving away as well towards his teammates. So a real standoff, a slow burner here, Dan, in this first round.
And that's what we'd expect when it is going to be map number 5, right? It all comes down to this, and we've seen how snowbally games can be at times. It can be a very long map at times where we go all the way and it's kind of 5-4, or a 3-0 can suddenly come out of nowhere.
Well, senoxe has been taken down here, so that's going to be Crust as well. Lu kind of left his teammates out to dry a little bit there. Tried to go for a wide flank. It didn't quite work out, and you have to say Arena Demons recognizing the situation perfectly. They go up by 1, and what was a slow burner all of a sudden ignited right at the end.
Another advantage of having the Horizon, you are usually going to be in a vantage point where you can see flanks coming through. You can see when 2 players might just be split from their teammate, and it's about having that confidence to call and say, look, we need to push onto a 2. We need to make sure we take this man advantage whilst we have it. Arena Demons did that. Even though Dimmy went down, the damage was already done by that point, and the rest of Arena Demons, they flew on in, finished things off, and now they will take the 1-point lead here on artillery.
So Arena Demons, they take another round here. They'll find themselves on championship point. That's how quickly arenas and these games can disappear in front of your very eyes. But for now, we just get to sit back and enjoy the action as Aidan, once again, 30-30 in hand. And do a little bit of poke damage, a little bit of peeking, a little bit of seeking for those bullets to find their targets.
Sentinels have to play a little bit passive here. They have to be well aware that these 30-30 repeater shots are hitting hard, but at the same time, you don't want to give Arena Demons the freedom to maneuver the way around the map in which way they want to. You want to be the ones dictating the pace, like Sentinels did in the early maps in this series. They were the ones who were causing the problems for Arena Demons, making the Demons overthink things, second guess themselves. They need to get back with that same confidence, and they can turn it around. As you say, it can turn around so quickly here in arenas, but at the same time, it can just fall right through your fingers like sand.
Sentinels looking to get a little bit aggressive here. senoxe is going to catch someone on the cross, but only manages to do 45 damage. If he hits another bullet there and gets that 90, things could be a little bit different. But here is Lu on the flank. This time it's working out. senoxe gets that damage done. Lu is going to use that mobility to get up and away. And that's going to leave RahKnee now in a 1v3 situation. He's going to be looking to the heavens, saying a few prayers. And they're not going to be answered on this occasion, as Sentinels will tie this up at 1-1.
I mean, you could spell it out. Movement. That is what is really going to give Sentinels the advantage over Arena Demons. A fantastic flank to ensure that aidanthedestroyer was taken off of his little vantage point, his little peak tower. And then it was the ability to get out of dodge and avoid those grenades from Lu. Just quick thinking with the grapple, but also re-engaging back into the fight instantly, so he wasn't out of it for too long. Tied up 1-1, and this is exactly what I wanted. I wanted to go all the way down to the wire. There's going to be the black hole purchased. We are going to see aidanthedestroyer try and utilize this ultimate here, which has actually worked out a few times throughout this tournament.
Yeah, especially on this side of the map, I feel it's very, very effective. You can catch a couple of players playing on this wall. As this is the first time we will see this side of the map being played. An interesting angle here from Lou. I wonder if he's going to try and think about a flank if some damage does come in. Sentinels going to have to be very, very careful here because 2 players are going to be flying in front of him. However, there is the angle from Lou, who does enough damage to Dimmy just to slow down the push and will allow teammates to move up towards where senoxe's position was. There's a frag grenade as well, and it looks like Aidan's going to be forced off of that high ground. But as we know, Horizon Q, that's why you play up. You can get back up on that high ground, and even though everyone's kind of playing a little bit of a mini game at the moment on how they want to try and aggress on the other team, nobody has the advantage.
It looks like Mario at the moment, doesn't it? Just kind of avoiding things landing at your feet.
Girl looked like Mario with the moustache on.
She did look a little bit like Mario. Maybe Mario's lost long cousin. But Gario is what we call him. But Sentinels now pushing in. And senoxe with some fantastic damage alongside Lou will take down Dimmy. But senoxe goes down on the other side. It's a 2 versus 2.
Yeah, I want to see Sentinels try and get aggressive here. However, they're going to take the time instead to exchange a little bit of damage. Here's Lou, though, and Lou will be taken down. Dimmy down to 1 HP. Grenades there as well, and there is the black hole, and that could be absolutely massive. But here comes a couple of flying Sentinels players. They avoided the black hole. They managed to get into position to finish off those kills, and Sentinels from 1 down now find themselves in a lead and find themselves, Dan Gaskin, on championship point.
That flank was absolutely everything from Sentinels. It was a res versus res, but there was one player just having a little sneaky beaky way round and said, I tell you what, I'm going to deny that res. Oh, I'm not quite there in time, but I'm going to take the fight. I think it may have been Lou who was re-engaging when it all happened, and it just made sure that Arena Demons weren't able to get back up to full health. I think it was Dimmy just constantly on a slither, couldn't heal back up, couldn't pop a back, couldn't pop a Zell, was not given the time. And you were talking about championship point. Well, now it's Sentinels on championship point.
And Arena Demons deny them. Will we see another round after this one, or will this be the end of the road for Arena Demons, or will Sentinels take home first place? And that cash that goes alongside it here. Crust is going to be changing out to the longbow this time. And you're going to see a very slow pace here as that player's going to try and cross. If he hits this shot, it would be massive after the headshot. RahKnee going to be using the lift alongside his teammate once more. And now all of Arena Demons will be playing together. But Lou with the Mozambique will get that kill on the board. And here comes Lou flying through the skies. Dimmy, he doesn't have much to work with. Sentinels just need one more knock, one more kill to call themselves champions. Lou goes down. Aidan the Destroyer is doing everything he can. But when it's all said and done, Sentinels will be the champions. Sentinels will close it out. And once again, it was Lou who initiated the fight that brings him the W.
Like a phoenix from the ashes, Sentinels, who were down and out at one point in this tournament, they got the reverse sweep. They were able to pull themselves back through the bracket, and now they are the champions of the UMG Invitational. Amazing performance from Sentinels, especially against an incredible Arena Demons. We have to say it, they performed excellently throughout the entire tournament. But when it's all said and done, as you say, Sentinels come out on top. They will be the ones who have the last laugh. Reflections, sorry that the Arena Demons finally got shut down, but honestly, you have to say, Sentinels, they deserved it in the end.
100%. Look, as much as you want to support a team, you have to be fair to the winners. Sentinel, they earned this, okay? Their route to grand finals, first and foremost, had to beat the previous champions of G2. That's not easy by any means. G2 had looked absolutely unstoppable. And let's not forget, too, their first match in their group, they had to play against Pittsburgh Knights, who was incredible in their own rights. And let's not forget that reverse comeback. They were down 2-0, and they took PK to a map 5 and beat them, and then went on to beat My Little Phony, who was also a dominant team in the last tournament. You then head into the bracket, and obviously Sentinels had to start off against Premier. We saw some big shakeups. Premier not getting a single elimination against Sentinels off the first 2 maps, and map number 3, they only get 3 total elims. Sentinels, we were starting to say, you know what? Maybe they're looking pretty good, but then to go against G2 and beat them 3-1, man, now they're looking really good. In Crust We Trust started trending in Blaze's mind and Girl's mind, or in Trust We Crust, at least for Girl. But then to go against Arena Demons, who have been so on point, beating everybody, to beat the second place team last time of Ghost 3-0 in the way they did. Look, it was scary for Sentinels. It really was. But when they went to artillery, I think they did something pretty special. Off those first initial rounds, I was super happy to see Sentinels not fighting that high ground, right? They were just kind of going mano-a-mano in that center portion of the map, or at least on the right side, open ground. And Sentinels felt confident in that fight. Lou, truly the hero in my mind. Those angles that he was taking in those flanks, incredible. I owe a lot of credit to Lou. Crust as well did his job. But I'm happy for Sentinels. I really am, because, again, they earned this. But I'm also really happy for Arena Demons. Come on, a team that's not represented by an org. They come into this tournament pretty much last second. You know, they were added pretty much the morning of the tournament last night. But yet here they are, and they made it happen. You love to see it. I'm really through the moon with how this ended up going, even though Sentinels did lock. I wanted a round 9. That would have made it perfect. But on set, for me, this was a perfect ending to this tournament. I'm so happy we at least got a Game 5 to finish it all.
Oh, 100%. I think Game 5 was deserved. I think both teams could be extremely happy. I'm sure if you said to Arena Demons, you're going to come second in this tournament when it all kicked off, they would have bitten your hand off for it. But Sentinels, I think every single player on that team deserves a mention. Even, you know, in that last series, Lou was popping off. He took all the responsibility of hitting, you know, big flanks. And if they don't go well, you sometimes look like you've made a mistake. He took that responsibility on his shoulders. You had Crust making crazy plays all tournament long. And then you have senoxe as well. Let's talk about that Kraber play, and let's replay that 1,000 times, because that was absolutely nuts. So every single player had a pop-off clutch moment, and it's in Sentinels we trust, I think, at the moment, for every single one of those players. They trusted in each other, and crust rhymes with trust, so that's why I've been saying it much. But, you know, it's been amazing to watch them play.
I mean, Gaskin, yeah, Onset brought up a great point. By the way, congratulations to both of you for calling that as well as you did. Even chat was impressed. And you know when chat is saying, wow, great commentary, you know you're doing something right with as brutal as they can be. Gaskin, yeah, that was a beautiful call with the Kraber. The fact of the matter is the Kraber is passed off, but when it's picked back up, my goodness, those shots connected. Getting the 2K was incredible. And, you know, it takes big boy moves to make plays like that when the pressure is really on.
Yeah, with great Krabers become great responsibility. You know, you have to hit those shots.
Is that
at
right?
the moment. If they had missed those shots, I would have ridiculed senoxe for time
Absolutely.
to come. But now I will just praise him for the rest of his life. Anytime he appears on my feed when I'm casting and senoxe is there, I'll be like, I remember this one time when he was passed off the Kraber and he did the absolute business with it. It was amazing to watch. Sentinels were a pleasure. Arena Demons were a pleasure. This whole tournament's just been very pleasurable.
Yes. Very, very pleasurable indeed. I think very well to say. I mean, it even made you a believer of Gardens. You know, you're starting to become a fan of it, I guess. I don't know where your allegiance lies. I want to be completely real. You got a good poker face, Gaskin. Yeah, you can't tell when you're angry. Can't tell when you're, well, no, when you're happy. You got a beaming smile. So I give you that. You got a beautiful smile, Gaskin. Hey, Onset Gaskin. It has been an incredible tournament. It truthfully has. And you know what? It's time to get out of here, even though I don't want to. I want to see it. I want to run it back. I guarantee you, if we were to do a best of 3 in the best of 5, that's really confusing, but run this series 3 times over, it would definitely go into a third and final rotation, right? Because that's just how close Arena Demons and Sentinels truly are. But I guess it is time to get out of here. I'm really sad, actually, this event is ending. But Onset, I'll leave it to you for your final words, and then we'll pass it over to Gaskin.
Don't be sad it's ending. Be happy that it happened. That's all I'm going to say to you. For Sentinels, it was an amazing performance. It was a lot of fun. I feel like Arenas is getting stronger and stronger every time we see in tournaments. I think teams are really starting to see the potential in it as well, and the way that they adjust, the way they play, and how things are being adjusted is really, really fun. So thanks to UMG as always. Thanks to you guys. Thanks to Girl and Blaze. It's been a blast, and thank you to everyone who's watching. Without you guys, it's nowhere near as fun to hang out in the chat. So yeah, thank you to everyone. Can't wait to do it again.
Yeah,
what about you, Gaskin?
Echo everything Onset said, of course. It's been amazing to... I love getting given the freedom to just have fun with commentary. It's a pleasure to work alongside you guys, and just in particular Onset. Every time that we cast together, I can't. No, honestly, it's been good fun. There's been a lot of jokes about us hating one another, but I couldn't have asked for a better commentary duo. So thanks everyone. I look forward to the next one, and Arenas is looking like it's in good shape because there's a lot of meta changes coming through.
Yeah, a lot of meta changes already from the last month to this month. I'm a fan. I'm a believer. I would love to see more arena tournaments pop up. This is it's been an incredible experience, without all the muddy third parties and craziness that happens in BR, which is magical in its own right. But arenas is something special to put the magnifying glass on certain players that may not have that magnifying glass or that much spotlight in the BR title itself. But at least all good things must come to an end, at least for the UMG Champions Apex Legends Arena $10,000 Invitational. Of course, this story has finally concluded. Sentinels with the victory, Arena Demons in second, and third and fourth being Ghost and G2. Hey, I loved having all of you guys. I really truthfully did. Hit that follow button if you haven't already, because we keep the action going on the UMG Gaming channel. But for myself, Taylor Reflections, Noble, Onset Gaskin, Blaze Girl, our production team, and you in chat, thank you for joining us. And we'd love to have you again on our next broadcast.